Hey, what's up everyone? What's up? It's time I review another movie. Yes, another movie I'm going to be reviewing. I'm going to be reviewing another movie. But before I do that, remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos and content. Let's see if we can get to 1K subs in the future. Right now, I'm at 150 subs. Thank you guys for the people who are supporting me. I really do appreciate that. I really do. I am hoping to get to 100K subs, like I mentioned. I am hoping to get there soon. I'm way off right now. I don't think I'm going to get there by the end of this year, but thank you guys for the people who are supporting my channel. And I do reviews, I do news-related stuff, although the news-related stuff I don't do as much. I've honestly got sick and tired of talking about some of this crap, honestly, going around in Hollywood and stuff, so I haven't been really talking about news-related stuff as much, but I have been doing thoughts and theories, and I have been doing some gaming. The gaming, though, has to be held off for right now because we're redoing the floors. And it turns out they're not going to be doing them until December. So it's going to be a while before I get back to Luigi's Mansion 3. Hopefully I can get back to it, though, in the future. Hopefully. But, anywho, let's get into the review. And let's review this movie here. Ice Age. I gotta tell you guys, I really like Ice Age. I love the first Ice Age movie. I love it. It was a fantastic movie. It really was. It was really good. It was heartwarming. It was sweet. I liked the baby in it, and I just liked the first movie. I know some people don't like the first Ice Age movie or Ice Age in general. That's fine. That's their opinion. They had the right to have their opinion. I was actually watching someone who doesn't care for the movies at all, and that's perfectly fine. That's their opinion, or well, the person's opinion I was watching, you know, because I only saw one person so far. But I guarantee there's other people out there that don't like Ice Age either. But I like Ice Age. I love the first movie. The first movie was really good. It was really good, and they eventually made sequels to the films. See, they made like 5 sequels to 4 sequels to a movie, and this one's a spinoff. Now I gotta tell you guys, I really did not want to review this movie. I really didn't. As you guys know, in the past I wanted to in the past I mentioned that I'm not really a fan of the Walt Disney Company and the direction they've been going lately. Well, even the last few years, they've been getting really bad even lately. But like I said, that's another reason why I don't do a lot of news-related stuff either, because I'm just, there's not really a lot to talk about with them anymore. I mean, I will have one soon. I will have a news-related video, but I'm kind of just burned out on talking about them in general. They've gone downhill. But because I had some things to talk about this movie, I figured I would review it. And I wanted to review it before we shut Disney Plus down. See, I was going to review this movie next year after I'm done with Pixar, so I can stay on a schedule because I'm doing Pixar movies. But I figured I can do this and a Pixar movie this week. That way, in case they Disney Plus gets shut down, because we're gonna probably have to shut some streaming services down because we're really low on cash. So we had to, so we're gonna have to probably shut Disney Plus down, and Daddy's talking about doing that. So I'm gonna have to probably, that's why I'm reviewing this movie now. But yeah, like I said, I was very turned on this movie. I really was. I was really turned on reviewing it, that is. Because everyone hated this movie. Every single person. I don't think, well, I found one person that actually liked the movie. One person. And that was in the comments of a video. That was it. And I've watched several reviews on this movie. Several. I even did one at the beginning of the year. I didn't do a review, but I told you guys, well, it was kind of a review, kind of not. The thing was, though, is I didn't want to watch this movie because it was received really bad, and that's kind of why I don't want to watch a lot of Disney movies in general now, because they're all really bad, and I'm just like, I kind of gave up on their movies too, but don't worry, guys, I will be reviewing Disney movies next year. I'll be reviewing all the movies next year. Well, all the animated ones at least, because you know there's like tons of different movies that came from the Disney company, but yes, I decided I'm gonna go ahead and push myself to do this. That's why I watched the movie. And I gotta tell you guys, yeah, it was something, definitely something to review this. It was something about this movie. There was something about it, and it was not as good. It was not great, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk about my thoughts on it. So I'm gonna talk about my thoughts on the movie here, though. As you guys know, you guys know that back in 2019, Disney bought 20th Century Fox. They got all of 20th Century Fox's films. Well, they got all their films, like they got the Home Alone franchise, the Diary of the Wimpy Kid franchise. They got all that, including the Alien movies. But they also canceled a lot of films in production. They canceled a lot of films in production. So they canceled a lot of films, though, in production, and I said that like a couple times. Sorry about that. But yeah, they did that, and then in 2020 they got rid of the Fox logo, so it's just 20th Century Studios now. And then the very next year they shut Blue Sky down. They literally shut Blue Sky down, and they pissed off a lot of fans. Yeah, Disney has gotten to the point where I'm not really the only one that's on this board, but a lot of people are just refuse to get Disney Plus and buy their merchandise because of how bad they've gotten, and I'm one of them. And again, I don't mind people if people like Disney, that's totally fine. That's their opinion. But a lot of people, including myself, are just burnt out on them. We're just burnt out. They've gotten really bad. A lot of their movies, I've actually been hearing a lot of them have been very split. Well, either they're either split or they're just terrible. There's actually been hardly any movies this year that actually have been very good. A lot of them have been either mediocre or really bad. So there's been some, I think, that have been good, but there's still a couple months left, so I'm not gonna really criticize it, or not even criticize it, but not even mention that until next year. But because I'm gonna be reviewing the Disney movies next year, so I gotta talk about the whole Disney movie thing for this year, for next year. So yeah, but so far though, that a lot of the movies have been really either mediocre or bad. Like it's gotten really bad. Like even with Bob Chapek in charge, it's gotten worse. And I stated in the past that I stated in the past that Bob Iger was pretty bad too, and Bob Chapek is worse. But yeah, basically, yeah, it's just sad that it's sad that they've done all this stuff. They've shut the Blue Sky down and put over 500 people out of a job and all that because they couldn't just sold the company to someone else, But I mean, they really are desperate for money, but for some reason they decided not to sell it. I mean, they could have sold it because Disney lost a lot of money when they bought Fox, so they could have sold you know, Blue Sky to someone else instead of shutting them down. And I know people were kind of split on that though. While the movies have been, a lot of them have been received really badly, Blue Sky, when Disney shut Blue Sky down, that decision was very split. Some people were alright with them because they didn't really have the best record of movies, but they have the best record for movies, and they kind of were small and all that, but I'm one of those people that were like, they could have sold it to someone else and got money back from it. They could have sold it and got money back, and then they could have not only they could have sold it and got money back, but they could have had all those people, those people that lost their jobs. Most of them could have got their jobs back. Some of them probably would have lost their jobs because you know, because it would have got sold to someone else. But there could have been a lot more people that would have had a job. And Disney said they were trying to find people jobs for these employees to go to and all that when the company shut down. But because Disney, you know, Disney's you know, got a lot of studios, and a lot of the studios already have people in them. Not all those people could have got a job. So yeah. But that's basically that. That's that. And I'm not gonna really talk about it too much. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys my thoughts on this movie though. I'll tell you guys my thoughts on the movie. But I'm gonna tell you guys my thoughts on it and what I think of the whole thing. Well, the whole Disney shutting Blue Sky down in general. So Disney decided to make Adventures of Buckwild movie, a spin-off, which sounds like a decent idea. It does. But I gotta tell you guys right now, it's a really bad sign for this new Ice Age movie to come out and start off with the Disney logo castle intro and not the 20th Century Studios one. That's a really bad sign for this movie right there. That's a bad sign. Yeah, but for some stupid reason, freaking Disney decided to use their logo instead of to use the 20th Century Studios one, because Ice Age was a 20th Century Fox intro. I mean franchise, and it doesn't make any sense for them to use that, that Disney Castle intro. You guys understand? I mentioned this in my Pixar movies reviews. I'm not really a big fan of the new Castle intro. I think it's okay. Don't get me wrong, it's not bad per se, but it's not very good either. It's really just not very. It's been overused way too much. Disney owns too many properties, and it was never a really great intro to begin with. I mean, you can say the same thing about Universal too. Universal's intro is overused too much too, but that intro is much better in my opinion. It's much better. This one's just been freaking overused too much. Heck, like I said, they used it in the, like I mentioned, they used it in the Ice Age movie, this one. And that goes for the new Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie, they used it there. See, Disney, when they shut Blue Sky down, they had another studio that replaced them. It's kind of a bummer that they immediately had a studio that can replace Blue Sky. They literally did. As soon as they shut Blue Sky down, they already had a replacement studio for them for the new movie. So it's a really big shame. It really is. So yeah, we got a new logo there, but what's the movie about though? Let's go ahead and talk about the movie itself, not the intro. The movie itself. I gotta say though, this movie is really boring. It's really boring. It's really boring. It's not as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be worse. I really did. I know, shocking, right? No, I thought it was gonna be much worse than this. But it was really boring. And boring is not very good either. Now, frustrating is worse. There are some frustrating moments. I'll get to those in a second in the movie, but the movie is basically about Crash and Eddie fed up with Ellie telling them what to do all the time. So they freaking ditch Ellie and they go to this lost world. I gotta tell you guys right here, all the characters in this movie, except Buckwild, have had swapped voice actors. They've had swapped voice actors. So yeah, they've all been replaced with new voice actors. And they sound cringed as hell. They freaking really sound cringed. They sound really bad. Crash and Eddie sound okay, but freaking Sid, Diego, and Manny all sound really bad. They sound horrible. And Ellie's voice actor sounds off too. Not as cringe as Manny, Sid's, and Diego's voice actors that are voicing them in the movie, but it still sounds bad too. It sounds way off. It doesn't sound anything like Ellie and all that. And that's not all that's bad about this movie. The animation, the freaking animation is really bad in this movie too. It's really bad. When they get into the Lost World, then the animation's a bit better, but it's still not great. It looks like itself, sort of. I mean, some of the models look off, like from the fur of Manny and the other characters that we're looking for, you know, Crash and Ethan. They look off in the Lost World, but Crash and Eddie look fine though. But freaking like they look really bad in the ice part of the movie, the ice part of it. They look really bad. It looks really bad, and you know, it looks horrible. And if you think it would stop there, oh no, it doesn't stop there. There's also freaking moments where like the characters don't even feel like themselves. Like Manny and Ellie are freaking, they're couples that you know, bicker and stuff throughout. I mean, they kind of did that in Collision Course a little bit, but it's not as cringed. It sounds way too cringe and off here. It feels like they don't have anything to do in the movie. They just like Manny is basically like Ellie punches him on the arm and all that, and well, I guess the leg, because mammoths don't really have arms, and then you know, they basically they just bicker throughout a lot of the movie. They do. It just sounds way off. It sounds freaking completely off, and it just sucks. It takes away from the movie. And then, like I said, this movie doesn't even feel like an Ice Age movie at all. It feels completely different. Besides the characters and well, not even the characters, but like the characters look like the Manny, Sid, and Diego and all that being in the movie and all that, and the locations. That's all it feels like a Ice Age movie. The other parts don't even feel like an Ice Age movie at all. The beginning doesn't feel like an Ice Age movie. Neither does you know, the part where, well, it's the opening doesn't feel like an Ice Age movie. Like, it doesn't feel like it because it's got Disney's Castle intro, and then you got the actual opening to the movie. Both of those don't feel like it, like part of an Ice Age movie. And then you got like parts of the movie where they're showing off maps of you know, like of them traveling. It feels way off. It feels way off for this to be an Ice Age movie. It feels way off. It feels way off, and I just don't think it's really good at all. I think it's freaking it just seems like this should be a whole different movie. And then yeah, there's a lot of problems with this movie. And then there's also the part where Crash and Eddie being annoying. Crash and Eddie are freaking annoying. They literally add nothing to this movie. They add freaking nothing to this movie. They just add freaking stupid humor and all that, and like they literally don't add anything to the plot. Basically, most of it's just focused on Buck and Z bickering at each other in the world, and then trying to like stop Orson, the villain, from you know, taking over you know, the world and stuff, or something like that. Which I'll get to him in a second, but yeah, they really don't add anything to the plot. They really don't. You can just take them out of the movie, and all they add to the plot is the end of the movie. That's it. That's all they add left. I mean, that's all they add to the movie. Otherwise, throughout the entire movie, they freaking just the butt of jokes. They just are stupid idiots that joke around all the time and all that. They literally don't add anything to the plot. See, the other movies, they freaking at least add something to the plot. They do. They don't add anything into the plot in this movie. They really don't. They're just there just to be funny and stupid. They don't really add anything to the plot until towards the end of the movie. So yeah. And then I gotta tell you guys about the villain, though. The villain is freaking just pathetic. The villain is pathetic in this movie. He's freaking pathetic. He's not the worst villain that I've seen. I've seen pretty bad villains, but he's not very good either. He's freaking just, Orson's just a freaking generic villain, and he's just kind of just, his freaking dialogue it's like it was written by a freaking 3-year-old. It's freaking terrible. It's just freaking terrible. Heck, there's even one point in the freaking movie where he kidnaps Buck and literally just freaking ditches the other characters on the trees. He literally freaking just ditches them there. So Orson literally just screwed his own plan up because he didn't kill Z and the Crash and Eddie. He just left them there and just put Buck in a cage and took him off. So what's the freaking point of that? I don't really get that at all. And then there's also a freaking scene where like where Buck is flying with Crash and Eddie on this bird from the third movie, and well, he's flying with them on this bird from like the third movie, which is nice to see that return, but it's just like, it's just like, you know, he tells them about the story about, well, he tells them about Orson escaping from exile. Oops, sorry guys about that. Sorry guys about that. I didn't mean to do that. But yeah, well, back to my thing. Yeah, but yeah. So basically, though, yeah. So basically, he explains the story. Well, he explains that Orson escaped from exile and he was banished from the lava land. But then, literally, the next scene where Z appears. They literally sorry. They literally have Bucks say he didn't know he escaped, or it's like he didn't know he escaped and all that. And I don't remember exactly what he said, but it's freaking stupid. Like they literally forgot about that one scene with Crash and Eddie and Buck telling them about that, and then they have another scene having Z tell them about that. So I'm like, what's the freaking point of that then? There's a lot of points in this movie that freaking feel pointless. It feels really, it's just freaking a mess. Not to mention that not all the characters from the freaking films appear in this movie. There's no Sierra. Granny left, you know. Granny left. I think Peaches was still there. Yeah, Peaches was still in the end of the movie in Collision Course, because Collision Course they decided to live next door. So I'm not sure. I still don't get why they didn't just move out and move somewhere else, but I don't really know. But yeah, but basically though they had Collision. Well, well, they had, they don't have Sierra, they don't have Peaches or her boyfriend, and they don't even have Brooke. Brooke's freaking gone too. So literally, like, a lot of the characters are freaking gone in this movie. They don't exist, which feels so bad. It's freaking bad. Like, it's freaking bad. But it's just freaking bad, and I don't really know. I don't know what to say. I don't really know what to say there. It's just like, why didn't they include all those characters in the movies too? I know people complained about there being too many characters, but if you're gonna freaking continue a damn Ice Age movie, freaking at least include all the damn characters. I don't really get that at all. I really don't. And then, like, another thing that is confusing about this movie is that there are actual mammals in the freaking dinosaur world. There really is. They freaking talk too. Why are they freaking there? This is the Lost World is supposed to be freaking only for dinosaurs and Buckwild. Why are they all freaking there? Why? It makes no sense at all. It really doesn't. I don't really get it. I'm sorry. I just don't really get this freaking movie's pacing and animations and everything else is off. This movie doesn't feel like an Ice Age movie. But what about some things I like? Surely there's some things I actually like about the movie, right? Well, actually, there are some things I do like about the movie. There are. Only a little bit, though. There's the backstory of Ellie crashing Eddie with her mom, which is pretty cute. I like that. Especially sad when she actually dies. It's really sad. I mean, we know she's dead, but seeing it on screen is kind of emotional and sad. And then, like, that's sadly about the only emotional the only great emotional moment in the movie, because the rest of it's been freaking screwed up by Crash and Eddie and butt jokes. Not like fart jokes, but just stupid jokes is what I mean by butt jokes. And then there's also another moment I like where the Mama T-Rex appears in the movie again. Yeah, she appears again. Sadly, her kids aren't with her. I mean, what do I expect when like half the freaking herd is freaking missing in this movie? Even though it showed that Peaches and her boyfriend were in the 5th Ice Age movie. And like at the end of the movie, and then you got Brooke and Sierra that are missing, so it's stupid. And then you got like another thing I like about the Mama T-Rex is where she's like drunk and fighting, and that actually got me to laugh a bit. That was actually funny. But that was like the only part of the movie that made me laugh. And I guess I like the music too. That returned. See, I like this song that appears this track. I'll just call it a music track. It appears like in like the flashback of Ellie and like in Ellie wandering in the snow as a baby mammoth, which I'm not sure what baby mammoths are called, but it's pretty nice to hear that music again. It actually appears a few times throughout the movie, which is good. But that's basically it. That's freaking all the things I like about this movie. This freaking movie is a dumpster fire. It's a freaking mess. This movie is a freaking a trash wreck. It freaking sucks. I don't know why I said trash wreck. That doesn't make any sense. Never mind though, but this freaking movie freaking sucks. And I'm gonna be giving this movie 0 points. Yes, 0 points. And sorry there's no score thing, because I have new medication. It makes me tired. So if I end up falling asleep, I want to make sure I have, I'll make sure I don't miss it. I wanted to upload this video and my 2DS is dead. So there's no sound effect for my points thing in this video. Sorry about that. But yes, 0 points though. This movie is freaking pointless. It is just freaking pointless. It's more boring than frustrating, but there are a lot of frustrating moments in this movie too. Like I mentioned, the animation sucks. I mean, come on, this is a fucking several billion dollar company that fucking bought out Fox. You can't tell me they couldn't fucking make the animation better. And then they couldn't freaking hire all the damn voice actors to come back too. It fucking sucks. And then you got like, you know, Crash and Eddie are freaking more annoying than usual in this movie. And then see, I don't think Z really Z's okay of a character, but I wish he didn't exist either. This movie actually in general doesn't need to exist. I think it would have been better off just making this movie a backstory of Buckwild instead of freaking making it a fucking sequel to, like, Ice Age. You know, make it a freaking backstory. Like, telling how Buckwild ended up in the Lost World. And why he's alone by himself. Because Z was never mentioned in previous movies. She was freaking never mentioned. So I don't know why they freaking... I mean, I think they added her in there because, you know, it's freaking a female character and all that. And Disney, you know, likes to make males idiots and females smart. Luckily, they don't focus on that too much in this movie. But she still doesn't I don't think she really needs to be there. Maybe she could be there, but maybe this is a freaking backstory to Buckwild, how he became on his own and all that, instead of freaking introducing this character that was never brought up before and all that, and I mean, have her maybe be in the movie, but maybe it's a backstory. That would have been nice. That would have been actually nice to have. But I don't know, though. I really don't know what to say. This movie is just a freaking dumpster fire. It freaking sucks. And I know they're actually making a 7th Ice Age movie too. They're making a freaking 7th one. I wonder if that's going to be about the return of the humans or something, you know? I mean, I don't really know. I freaking gave up on freaking Ice Age. Ice Age should have ended on Collision Course. Not Collision Course, I mean, it should have ended on, it should have ended on, what was it called? Continental Drift. That's what it was. I know a lot of people don't like that movie too much, but I heard mixed reviews on it, so I think it would have been better just to end it there instead of having Collision Course and freaking Adventures of Buckwild in here. In Collision Course, I'd rather watch that freaking movie over this one. This one freaking sucks. It's just bad. It's just, like I mentioned before, the animation's terrible. The voice acting sucks. It sounds really cringed at times, and then it just freaking sucks. Heck, even the voice actor for Buckwild, the only voice actor to return for the film, he freaking said the movie sucked too. So I really don't know. I really don't know what to say here. I'm not gonna probably watch the 7th Ice Age movie. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm probably not gonna do a prediction video on it either. I freaking just done with this crap. I'm done with it. And that's basically my review for this movie. That's my review for Adventures of Buckwild. This movie was not, it wasn't like super painful to sit through, but it was just boring and forgettable. This movie definitely didn't need to exist. And I got no comment question for this movie, and this freaking movie sucks. It really does. Well, I guess I do have a comment question, actually. For my comment question, for this movie, so where would you go? So for my comment question, though, is, what would you got, like, where do you guys think the franchise should have ended? Do you guys think it should have ended with the first movie, the third movie, or the second one, or the first, or the fourth? Tell me where you guys think the Ice Age franchise should have ended at. I think it should just ended at the fourth one, because I think the fourth one was still decent. It was still pretty good. It wasn't as good as the third one, but it was still good. But I don't know what to say though. I'm probably gonna go ahead and end up letting this go though. Sorry if there's a lot of complaining in this movie. I'm just freaking disappointed that freaking Disney shut Blue Sky down instead of, selling it off to someone else. And I'm freaking tired of these stupid Ice Age movies. I'm not thrilled they're making even a 7th one without Blue Sky. I'm not even thrilled that freaking Disney had already had a freaking studio to replace them when freaking they were shutting Blue Sky down. They already had a freaking studio to replace them. So, yeah. But I don't know, though. But I'm going to go ahead and probably let this go, though. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos and content. And God, I'm gonna need a lot of therapy after watching this freaking dumpster fire of a movie. But I'm definitely gonna need something like that. Anywho, bye.